Good afternoon, students. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to look at Module 4. So our focus this week is going to be on data analysis. And just want to take a second to talk about what our goals are here and just reiterate those. And the first one is that what you're turning in each week should be a final product as close as you can get it. You know, a rough draft, if you will, but to as close to being finished and ready to submit to me as possible. And what you're doing is each week is uploading that rough draft to the forum in Moodle, and then whether you want to pick the same one each week or you want to pick a different one, you are going in to the draft that you have selected, and you are spending an hour or two reading that, especially if it's something like the section where it was the introduction and the probably more like an hour, the introduction and the lit review, and you are reading that paper closely, or that submission, that section. You're looking at the rubric that you're going to be graded by, and you are providing feedback via tracking and and comments. And that's why it can't be a PDF, right? Because you can't, at least the PDF reader that I have, I can put comments, but I can't track changes. And you are spending, like I say, an hour reading over that and giving very specific and detailed feedback about areas for improvements. You can give positives about sections that you think are particularly well written, or that you maybe even took, one of the things is while you're reading that you are saying, oh wow, I didn't, when I wrote my paper, I didn't think about putting that in there, or I didn't look at this aspect of it, and I want to go back and redo that. You're looking at writing conventions. You're looking at grammar, you're looking at punctuation, you're looking at spelling, you're looking at the APA, and you are giving very specific feedback. That is part of your job here. This project, this paper, some of you have talked about maybe trying to publish it, your research. I think some of you, would be or should be encouraged to submit it, if nothing else, for a conference, presentation, because it's the research that you're doing is interesting and informative, not only to your practice, but to the practice of others. The purpose of this assignment is to learn how to conduct action research in your classroom so that you can improve your practice. Okay. But it's also to improve your skills as researchers. That's part of the master's program. That's part of the skill set that you're learning at a different level than you did when you were an undergrad. There's no better way to learn that than to write a lit review, because when you're writing a lit review, you're reading, I think for this 15 articles, and you're seeing published final products of what you're attempting to do, right? That's what you're doing. The papers that you're reading, you are creating one of those. So when you're reading them, you're looking at them with an eye to, I'm going to write an introduction. How does this introduction look? I'm going to write a methodology. How does this methodology look in this paper that I'm going to include in my lit review? Another way that you improve that, and by that I mean improve your skills as researchers and writing research, is to critically read and provide feedback on others. I serve as a reviewer for multiple conferences, multiple journals, as well as I'm the editor of the Alacti Journal, the co-editor. This is how you get better at doing that. is by reading and critiquing and thinking critically about that. And it takes me, I've gotten a lot more reluctant about doing it because it is so time consuming to read and provide feedback to someone on a manuscript that they submitted. But that is how you improve those skills. It's also, it's just a part of the program, the collaboration, giving feedback, hearing feedback. The best way to learn to do something is teach someone else to do it, and that's kind of what we're engaged in. So, and then the last thing I was going to say about this is the revision part. And a lot of this came from a conversation I had with someone else today, one of your peers, someone in the class today is, this is a very, very, very time-consuming process, writing this paper. I've spent, a Saturday working on a research paper, and at the end of it, have written, 2 pages, spent the whole day. And it is and yet, granted, I'm a slow writer and researcher, but to get it into a polished format, it is revise, read, review, edit, revise, and so on. So that's why that's all we're looking at really here, and the goal is to really create a polished product. And part of that is, and part of your grade will be the feedback. A big part of your grade will be the feedback that you are giving your peers. So I just want to make sure that you are, one, submitting each week a polished product, and then taking the time to provide substantive feedback to your peers about their papers.